You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Open your eyes. Reality is but an illusion. There is only one Sorcerer Supreme.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
We can smell the stench of Null on you. You have been to Clinton.
Yeah. Huh. Lovely planet you got there. So, regular tourist hotspot.
How did you make it off alive?
Well, pair of fully charged element guns and
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3.
I have with me Professor Sheila Briggs, Associate Professor of Religion and Gender Studies at USC. Thank you so much for coming here today. What is the purpose of Women's History Month?
Women's History Month. One of the big problems that any group has that in some way has been oppressed is they lose contact to their history.
Should we have a Men History Month so men can learn about their past as well?
We need the history of everybody, but to get there, you need things like Black History Month and Women's History Month.
You are a professor, associate professor of religion and gender studies at USC. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
You're a Christian. You also teach gender studies.
Mm-hmm.
What is gender studies?
So gender is something that it's a key part of a person's identity, and it's not something. It's like the same as with race. It's not something you choose. You know, it's something that you are faced with. It's changeable. But it's a social identity.
Well, we
and
only have
individuals in society have to negotiate.
we only have two genders, and that male and female, right? And so you teach about those two things, male versus female, or male and female. Am I right about that?
Yes.
There's no other gender, right?
Well, gender is actually a rather flexible thing. Now, not our Western culture is a culture like you get a form, it says male, it says female,
Right.
it says one. But there are some cultures which actually do have more than one gender.
You know, I wanted to ask you about the nasty women rally they had in Washington, D.C. and around the country. Were you a part of any of that?
I went to the women's rally here in LA.
Oh, you did? The women there were really, really dirty. You know, you had Madonna dreaming about blowing up the White House. You had women wearing these pink hats.
I'd have loved to have them, but I didn't have time to make one.
And they're supposed to represent the vagina or something, right? Those hats.
Right.
Did you want to wear a vagina hat on your head?
There's various stories about that. I think that the hats haven't really
They
got
said it's
anything-
vagina. I asked. I talked to
It's from Pussy Riot. I
Right.
think that, but it's.
Would you have wanted to wear a pussy hat on your head?
If I'd have been able to get one, because I think it was a way of saying, look, we women are here. We are not going to allow our reproductive rights to be taken away. That was one of the major focuses.
But the way normal people saw that, they saw these women as being men haters, you know, family hating, abortion, LGBT, homosexual kind of women. And they displayed themselves in a way where a normal man would never consider marrying them or even associating with them because they were so gross in those rallies.
Look, I was on the streets that day, and there were 750,000 folks here in LA on the street.
Right.
It was amazing, and like these were all sorts of people. I mean,
I know, but it was dirty people.
No,
You had Black Lives Matter, you had the radical homosexuals, You had the
So you think
LGBT.
Black Lives Matter is a nasty thing?
Yes. They are worse than the KKK.
You think that Black Lives Matter? So you don't think that Black Lives Matter?
I think they need to be gotten rid of. They are worse than the KKK. If we're going to tolerate Black Lives Matter.
You think that Black Lives Matter is worse than the KKK?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Because it's a very radical, agitated, evil organization that is built of radical black lesbians and radical
Particularly about protecting
black
young black
homosexuals.
men.
No, they never went into the black areas at all.
Well-
Black on black crime out of control, and the only thing they did
You
was
sound like look, black and black crime. This idea that black and black crime is out of control. Yes, black community, but actually, crime is down in the United States. If anywhere the crime
you need to
is
send that
rising,
notice to Chicago.
is in white communities.
That's why one of the reasons I say that Black Lives Matter is worse than the KKK because they're encouraging hatred rather than love. When did you?
I think there are lots of folks involved in Black Lives Matter. I mean, Black Lives Matter is a movement that has come out of the black community, but it's made alliances with lots of groups. If you actually see
We're
black
all evil groups, though, not with good
well,
people.
the thing is, you say they're not these good people, but like these are the ordinary folks of America and California. These are people of all ages, all races, all genders, all classes. You know.
And I do, comedy, I do drama, everything in between.
So have you acted in anything that I'm
You'll need a
familiar with?
top-notch team to win this
Yeah,
one.
I acted in the White House
You
in
don't
front of
have to be a
Obama
witch
doing my
to find
impression
the
of Obama.
magic in this
Really?
one.
Yeah.
But
What
it
was
does
that?
help.
Right.
Did you run from ICE or something? Did ICE show up?
No.
San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom is breaking his silence tonight. It was nearly a month ago that he dropped out of the governor's race. He hasn't held any official public
30
events or
seconds before
talked to
you
the
attack.
media
Get
since,
ready.
leading many to ask, what's going on? But that changed today.
Was this the same time? I don't know if this when this photo was. Not 1993, is it? It's I don't know, when he was mayor of San Francisco, just running for governor. I think this is the time that he got caught sleeping with his best friend or his campaign manager's wife, and it was a whole thing. And then he's expected to be like the leader of the progressive movement now.
CBS 5 political editor Hank Plant sat down with the mayor for a one-on-one interview.
The mayor used the occasion of the city's $500 million deficit to start doing interviews again. But of course, we began.
He's always been an awkward, slimy scumbag. I don't see how the left keeps on stroking his ego saying he looks so refined and good. It's like, no, he's a weirdo.
with questions about his uncharacteristic absence from the public limelight.
Mr. Mayor, good to see you. Let me start by asking you, where have you been?
So he's always sat this weird way. What is this?
$522.2 million shortfall. Last year we had a 575.6. Hey, guys.
Wait. Did he not know he was going to go on there to talk about his budget issues, or was he thought he was getting a softball interview? Is this the reason that he doesn't do interviews anymore?
I'm here to talk about tomorrow, today and tomorrow. Not yesterday.
I'm here to talk about my future failures, not my previous failures.
Working my tail off. I've been out. I think I had 69 public events.
Why does he sound like a Texan? Where is Governor Gavin Newsom from? Why does he sound like an oil baron in this interview?
2.5 weeks.
I heard you say that on the radio,
Yeah.
and then I asked your staff, well, where's the printout? Where are these events? And your press person said, well, there's just the stuff he just goes to.
Yeah, these are all public events. Yeah. So.
But look, you know the criticism that you have been dodging, not just the press, but also the public.
Oh, so they sandbagged him. He didn't know he was coming in to speak about his failures. He thought he was coming in for what he gets now with, what was it, Vogue, saying how good he looks and how presidential he seems.
But that you have been sulking after dropping out of the governor's race, that you're having a temper tantrum. What do you want to say about it?
Oh, now I know why they call him Patrick Bateman. This looks like a moment where it's gonna go bad for this journalist. He's like, I'll remember that one Grand Empire of the Universe.
I want to say that I've been working my tail off. I've been here focused in San
Did
Francisco.
he just repeat the same sentence he made before? He's the original Carambola.
Francisco, I think I was gone 2 days out of the city in the last 3 weeks. We've done 69 public events. I've been as engaged or more engaged than ever. I don't read the press. It is.
We're asking you about your budget shortfalls, and now you're just saying, this is how good I am. This is how busy I am. Don't you see how much of an oil baron I am by the slick back of my hair?
Some of the things that have been written.
So the cartoon in the Chronicle
is saying, wait, I feel like I gotta.
You need to stop that
What does it
vehicle in
say?
its tracks.
Is this in another language? The smoke show, you'll be responsible for changing the mayor. Oh no. The new something. He's changing the mayor. He's Governor Gavin Newsom crying. Changing the mayor's something, you mean? No? What is this? This is from the San Francisco Chronicle. How can you read that? I don't know, man.
that depicted you as a crying baby with the headline, Mayor, off the wall. You didn't see that?
Oh, that's like a serial killer stare. Like if someone showed me like, hey, here's what your haters are saying on Reddit, now it's like, that would be terrifying.
Who reads that stuff? I don't read that stuff.
It's the San Francisco Chronicle, isn't it? Like the most popular newspaper in the state, in the city you're the mayor of.
I focus on work. I focus on getting things done.
You're right. He is Joker coded. He doesn't care what happens to the world. He just wants to accrue power.
It's not just the press that you've been absent from. I mean, I have a list of the events that you have missed. Which ones? You want a few? The Urban Land Institute. You were scheduled to speak before 6,000 people.
I had slipped through that week.
The
He's gonna prattle off some lies, I think.
China SF conference that was also there. They were counting on you. The Silver Spur Awards luncheon.
That was the only one I missed that I actually knew about. No, I took
2,000 people.
Well, if you knew about it, you missed. You're talking about you missed the one you had the flu for. So not, you just none of this tracks.
Yeah, I think you're focused on the spur. I actually wish I had made. I was sick as a dog, and that was on a Monday, and I was gone for 3 days.
Salvation Army luncheon honoring your chief of staff.
I was never scheduled to be there. I was at 3 events at the exact same time.
Some of your staff members have left.
Yeah, as I said, I made a lot of changes here.
Is it because you slept with one of your staff members' wife? Or is that another time? Or is this a different time? I don't know. Yeah, he might be on some substances here.
You went to Hawaii.
For how long?
Didn't tell your own press secretary. He was blindsided. Had to go out and tell the reporters while he's under the weather. Didn't know his own boss, who was on a plane to Hawaii, was blindsided.
He's literally with
people who work 15, 16 hours a day. Like, what does it say about your loyalty to them?
Well, what do we say about the information that you've been provided? That's what I'm concerned about more.
This is all true. What are you talking about?
You're just factually, again, incorrect. My chief of staff was well aware I was gone. I was gone for 48 hours. I left for 2 days.
Is this the environmental guy saying I went on a 48-hour trip to Hawaii?
I think I deserve the right, after a long campaign, to make the decision to spend time with my daughter and my wife. I don't know where you come up with it.
As he does. He does have, he should be able to get time off and do what he wants in his free time. But the simple fact that he's undergoing controversies and being pulled out for budget shortfalls and saying, you know what, I deserve a vacation. Absolute absurdity should have disqualified him from ever running for something ever again.
And it sort of misleads people and creates a sense of something that really doesn't exist, and so it's unfortunate. But again,
but that is exactly what happened, Mr. Mayor. The press secretary, he made misinformation about press, and then he resigned.
Yes, yeah.
Curiously, he resigned after this.
Yeah, I don't know that this is much to do about nothing. My chief of staff was aware, to the extent that my chief of staff apparently that morning been communicated to the press secretary. I guess that was the case.
Oh, it's not my fault, but he's more angry that he has this information. Again, absolutely disqualified.
Then, when it was time to talk about the city's finance problems, Newsom seemed out of patience.
$523 million.
Yeah, it's a big deficit.
What is
It's
this?
not just a big deficit, a lot of work ahead of us.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, we've got a lot of work ahead of us. Big deficit.
At the end, he couldn't leave the room fast enough.
He's so pissed.
About that, I'm amazingly disappointed. Amazing. I just am, personally. You know?
I thought I was gonna get a fluff piece. Why are you calling me out from my shortfalls? He's a psychopath. He has to be a psychopath. Again, more work to be done. And he was talking about more work. It's insane over here. They say the thing that all the Democrats keep on saying doesn't happen. Healthcare to illegals. He went over to Davos with his Trump-branded knee pads to follow the president over there. Very bizarre. But the fact that he let the cat out of the bag. They're giving healthcare to illegals, and now California is going to spend more money, getting a bigger deficit to give more of them that. Why are they extending it to any? Why was anybody over 49 or under 26 getting it? I thought it was illegal federally to give them health care. I guess they just don't care anymore.
That's going to cover 700,000 additional people and cost the state $2.6 billion each year. Now, that's added onto New York's that's added onto California's deficit, $68 billion.
Yes, they're going over, what is it, $68 billion. And then now, somebody running for governor, because Governor Gavin Newsom has termed out, so he can't do anything else in California. You can run for president. I don't think he's going to make it, but now you got a new guy being arguably worse.
And when I am governor, I will restore universal health care for all, including undocumented immigrants.
Why are you expanding it? Apparently they already get it, but they just keep on promising something they can't provide. Because if you know anything about California healthcare, it is insanely difficult. I have top-tier, expensive-ass healthcare. I wanted to get an eye appointment, and I think the lead-in time, like me looking in the future, that's me being surrounded by hospitals within the network saying, 3 months, we can maybe get you in. Within that, I'm like, well, my contact prescription's over. I need new contacts. Like, what? I was able to go essentially private, go to a Target, and be seen the day I made the appointment. Very sad this is where we are with healthcare. And also, I had to pay out of pocket. And I have health care. I have vision plan.
In California, because we know that healthcare is a right. We will abolish.
Yeah. Health care is a right. Anything that requires the labor of somebody else, you say is a right, you mean you are pro-slavery. You want to make certain that somebody else works for free, whether it's the doctor giving you free health care, the taxpayer giving money to the government, so then they can later turn it to the doctor, so the doctor gets paid. But I'm basically a tax slave for an illegal person getting free health care. That's all this is, and yet he's saying it's a human right. No, you can't have a human right that requires the action of somebody else. Food is a human right. No, it would be nice if we could all be fed. We can get rid of childhood hunger or food scarcity or food insecurity. That would be amazing. But as long as it requires the effort of somebody else, we don't have a Star Trek replicator. You're condoning essentially slavery because your rights don't supersede my rights.
We'll create a pathway to citizenship, and right now I have legislation that puts a tax on any single company in California that does business with ICE, and ICE is 10%.
What a giant stretch. Healthcare for illegals, and also jail for people that would enforce our border laws. I wonder if he lives in a gated community. I wonder if he's constantly protected by people, armed men, from criminals. Or does he live in a ungated, free to everybody, just wild west of a neighborhood? No, I don't think it's so. California's in trouble if Governor Chad Bianco can't win. But Los Angeles is where we're starting to see some major issues, because you have this person, I'm not pronouncing her name out of disrespect, I just pronounced nothing correctly, but it's a Nithya Raman. Just like the mayor of Chicago trying to sue Korean car manufacturers because they make it too easy to steal their vehicles, she now wants to sue Toyota.
We have a company, the Prius, whatever, Toyota, who makes the Prius, that essentially has a device on their car, which is super easy to remove.
Oh my God! Like, so we got a population of girls. They're too hot and their skirts are too short. That's the exact same argument she's making right now.
It's basically the value of a MacBook, right? That is put in a place that is incredibly easy to access in your car.
Who cares? Are you gonna start suing Apple for having MacBooks on display? It's too easy. It's too tantalizing for criminals to steal it. Absurdity.
And then the thefts related to this issue have essentially all of the costs of that are given to us to bear instead of them having to manufacture a car that actually is not so easy to be stolen.
Terrible precedent to make. If you're too easy to be robbed, you need to be fined for it. What is she gonna sue next? Babies for being too defenseless? Absurd. But that's not even the stupidest thing she's done. I guess when she was on Sherman Oaks Homeowners Association, she was voting against keeping the homeless encampments away from the schools.
May I ask a different question? I'm wondering if you support 4118 around.
There you go. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2.
More for the homeless rights than the rights for your kids to get to school safe. The idea that I don't know. Does she have kids? Does she have kids, or does she have kids that don't go to public school? Sherman Oaks, at one point in time, was a nicer part of LA, but it is no longer. The idea that she's just saying, oh yeah, we don't need to have laws in order to protect the students, the kids, because what's 500 feet from 0 feet, them camping out at the school, that doesn't impact me, so I don't care. All she has is pets. I wouldn't be surprised. She's getting booed to her face. Yeah.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
And here's it. The disdain for people. How dare you want to, here you go. How dare you want to have safety for your children when they go to school? I'm voting against it because I'm the socialist. I'm the, what is it, Democrat Socialist of America? I forget what the DSA is. But she's pro-criminal. She's catalytic converter thieves and homeless people camping out, watching school campuses. It's terrible, but yeah, the Democrat Socialists of America, their agenda is just, it's so bad. It's so bad. But there are certain idiots in Los Angeles County that will vote for this.
Cousins' program for Los Angeles includes disarming police, closing jails, and decriminalizing drugs, among other items. Donna, you've spent a lot of time in LA. Your family is there. Talk to us about this, what this portends or could portend.
Well, first of all, I think what this shows us is bad candidates produce this. So when you...
Ballot harvesting produces this. Real people that have children that go to school, that deal with the homeless crisis every single day, the reason I left Los Angeles, that really face to face with what it is. Not people that live on social media and don't actually have jobs that contribute to society. I'm talking about just people or harvested ballots and idiots that actually live in their ivory towers. They vote for this. Bad candidates couldn't survive without the system that allows them to thrive.
Have weak candidates on the Democratic side or frankly the Republican side, you end up with these candidates that are fringe-like. But now these fringe candidates are becoming the norm. And we saw...
And here's the thing, yeah, don't go Mamdani on us. What we're seeing in New York City already should be the shot heard around the world. We are well aware of the dangers of socialism. It's already going bad. Homeless people are already losing their lives. People are walking around piles of garbage taller than themselves. Cars are getting broken into at a record amount. Like, it's already going bad. But if people don't face the realities of what they voted in New York City, it's going to spread elsewhere.
Happened here in New York.
Yeah, but
was Mamdani going to get elected without it being Adams and Siwa and Cuomo, right? Like there was no really good alternative for the Democrats to choose.
I think, for the Democrats to choose, I think that Sliwa was a good alternative. It's just as long as you can straw man anybody that's not a socialist by saying, oh my God, he's a communist, or not communist, he's a MAGA Republican, idiots will vote against him.
we're seeing in California. I mean, you have Karen Bass, who horribly has botched the entire fire issues that have been going on there. People are still not being able to build their homes. I mean, this is a
Socialists of America who
California's still reeling from the fires, and they want to bring in somebody that wants to disarm the police, close jails, raise taxes. What's the next one, though? They want to find people leaving the state, and also they're going to lose the Olympics. I'm calling it right now. The Olympics won't make it here. Something's going to happen in the meantime. But the other mayoral candidate, Spencer Pratt, the former TV show The Hill star, actually is exposing her for having a checkered past. I actually like Spencer Pratt. I would, if I lived there, I would be voting for him, but I definitely will tell all my friends that still live in Los Angeles County to vote for him.
The homeless industrial complex finally
my bad. That's
their corrupt candidate of choice in the mayor's race, Councilwoman Nithya Raman, was
Nithya Raman, that's how you say her name? Okay. And that's the thing, is she is turning her back on Mayor Karen Bass and running against her. So we're already seeing infighting on the left.
busted for funneling taxpayer dollars into her own nonprofit.
I'm almost certain everybody in Los Angeles City Council or anybody that's high up in the Democrat Party will have Derek Spencer defined just like this.
In 2020, she spearheaded the Los Feliz Bridge Home Shelter as a failed temporary housing fix at a staggering cost of $2.2 million a year that only resulted in surging crime and a 400% increase in homelessness.
Yeah.
Raman pledged to.
Well, the problem is they have a increased homelessness, but also not discounting the fact that homelessness went up despite the fact that we have something like 7 deaths a day from overdoses.
Close it for a senior center during her campaign, blaming the mayor for its failure.
Of course.
But once re-elected, she suspiciously flip-flopped, renewing the permit at $3.2 million, while her ambassador program for safety never launched.
And even if it did launch, remember when they had the safety ambassadors for the public transit, the subway system, and you just have videos of, what was it, people getting in fights outside the bus and all the safety ambassadors just sitting there looking like, it always sounds good on paper for idiot leftists that don't know a thing about law enforcement to say, we should have social workers, unarmed people that show up to these public health or mental health crises. They're not escalated and they just deal with it. It's like, yeah, when a person has a pair of scissors and they're stabbing somebody, you need a cop. You don't need a social safety ambassador. It was a failure for the public transit system, but they keep on pitching it because it sounds better than the police.
The time entanglement.
And it gets so much better. Raman funneled $42,000 in no-bid funds to her own nonprofit.
Of course she did.
Sell-out for vague outreach work, duplicating tasks, dodging bids in a scheme.
See, the outreach is the perfect scam because you don't actually have to have a quantified, like, performance metrics. You don't have to say, we made homelessness this much lower. We got this many people inside a shelter. No, it's like we just provided services. Oh no, thanks for the bits. I heard some sound. But it's just, we served 20 homeless people. There's no documentation because they don't have IDs. We don't actually need to show that we put them somewhere. We just went out there and we saw 80 people today, so now we can build a government for $20,000. It's ridiculous, but it works. That's why they keep on doing it. That's why they don't want to fix the homeless problem. Like, you know, we'll go back to this video in a moment, but I just want to show another instance of why the homeless industrial complex is allowed to thrive in Los Angeles and California in general, or any liberal area, because this person showed in San Francisco the Super Bowl happens and all the homeless got shipped away. But yeah, look how clean San Francisco can be when they need to be sparkly clean for the visiting millionaires, the bourgeoisie, sometimes it's the Chinese, and then you have right after right after the Super Bowl ends, they all move back in. They're allowed to take over the streets. Incredibly dangerous, dirty for everybody. Suffering. All suffering of everybody over there. But the same thing is, they keep the homeless situation intact because they can endlessly fundraise off it. They can endlessly spend on it because nobody wants to say, keep homeless people in the streets, let's give them help. Let's get them services and free needles and free syringes and free Narcan. They make too much money off it to ever end it. And they don't mind how many people suffer in the meantime. They're scumbags for doing it, and I hope Spencer Pratt can fix it.
stinks of corruption. Only 8% of the residents transition to permanent housing. 8%. Even Shaq was better at free throws than Ramin is at fixing.
Yeah, 30% transition. Here's the thing: is giving them housing, free housing, doesn't fucking mean anything. They can't upkeep it. That just makes them a perpetual strain on the system. None of this works. You have to address the issue. If they're criminally insane, you throw them in prison. If they're just collecting benefits and they prefer the homeless lifestyle because it's easier, they don't have to get a job, you cut them off. Either they decide to work and contribute to society, or it ends for them. I don't want to be too harsh on it, but we need to stop sacrificing the kids they try to walk to school around this. The other homeless people they burn alive. Like, anybody that's actually been around it knows how violent this situation can be. When asylums, I think Trump brought back asylums finally.
Homelessness. If any of us in the real world had that bad a success rate, we'd be fired. But Ramin.
Exactly. Governor Gavin Newsom, as mayor of San Francisco, billions of dollars in debt, goes on a trip to Hawaii. He doesn't tell anybody and says, I'm disappointed in you guys for pulling me out. Why is the press grilling me for my failures? Now I'm going to fail upwards. They always fail upwards. It's sad.
And it only fails up. We are sick and tired of these incompetent, corrupt career politicians like Ramin who never fix problems, but somehow always.
I think he's going to have a Trump-esque victory in Los Angeles. No one's going to believe in him, but I don't think that you could pronounce her name, Ramin. But for him to sit there and say Ramin, 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 and give them a nickname, he's going to catch bad flack closer to the election. He's rude, he's racist, he's this, he's that. But people under dire circumstances, with all the bad things happening in Los Angeles,
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
When I see someone with powers like
what is
yours,
a man?
I think, wow. I mean, how can I compare?
I'm not really sure, like,
compare.
the
You just spread
technical
your light.
definition. I've never been like, well, does he have balls? What if he loses a ball? I don't know. What if he only has one ball? Is he still a man? I'm not really sure.
The battle starts in 5.
In high school, there was a kid, and he got a soccer ball hit him in the nuts, and one popped. Is he
All you need
still a
to
man?
do is
I
capture
have
the
no
mission
idea.
area. Got it?
Welcome to the Dark Force dimension.
Living is so overrated.
Do you think if a man has one nut, he's still a man? I don't know.
So cold.
Good medicine.
Let me ask, did you vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
I voted for Trump.
Why?
I knew that she had more of the vision that I wanted, and also I felt like Trump's first administration it was very like, it was more focused on the social issues of being angry about
the moon. What was the vision that you had? You said you had the same vision you have, right?
Yeah.
What was that?
I think it was more her views on like equality and I'm sorry, but I feel like Trump's views were like a definite no for me, and so I definitely didn't want him in power. And so for me, that's where it was like, well, if I'm choosing between horrible and like not horrible, I would go with not horrible.
But you said that Kamala Harris had the same vision that you have. What's that?
I think that there's definitely more focus on equality as a general principle. There's looking at like having policies that are, you know, support like working mothers and support more general, like I said, equality.
Never miss.
But I don't think that Trump cares about equality. I don't think that Trump cares about people's happiness.
And what is equality?
equality to me is goes to when people like mind your business. Like if someone lives different than you, that's totally fine.
Right.
But they have an equal level of power in our economy and in the law.
But what is equality?
Equality is an equal amount of power and rights under the law.
What does that mean?
So that means that like everyone has an equal right to vote, or everyone has an equal right, you know, if they choose to be LGBTQ, that's okay as well. There's not like, you know, Trump's like repeal that, so now there's only one woman can do this with on driver's license and that kind of stuff. I'm personally against that.
So you think that a man and a girl who think that he's a woman, or a woman who thinks that he's a man, driver's license that they're or something that they're not?
Yes, I think that they should be able to, if it makes them happy and it doesn't hurt me,
Focus.
power to them.
Well, isn't that a sign of mental illness?
Not for me. I don't think it is.
And why not?
Because
to a man, a male who thinks that he's a woman, right? But you know he's not a woman. He really knows he's not. He just thinks. Or a woman who thinks she's a man, but knows she's a real woman. You wouldn't call that mental illness? Is that sanity?
that's what makes them happy. If it makes,
sanity?
I think it's sane. Because that's their choice.
I
How's
enjoyed
that
that.
sane, though?
They can live however they want. If
You're
it's not
right
hurting
about
people,
that.
I don't care.
Right, absolutely. I totally agree. They can live whatever they want, however they want. But why would you call that
Sane, because it's
yeah, why would you call that sane?
it's a rational choice.
What do you mean by that?
They chose, they said, you know what, I'm actually happy.
Would you in your mind say that's a real woman?
I don't know what a real woman is. See, that's
You don't know what a real woman is?
I'm fine with them choosing whatever they want. It's not hurting me.
Right. I understand you're right about it. They can do what they want.
So I don't want to put a label on them.
But what is a real woman?
I have no idea. What do you think?
You don't know what a real woman is?
What's a real woman?
Are you a real woman?
I don't know. What's a real woman?
So you don't...
What's a real woman? Real means not fake, but that's so vague. I don't know what you're asking.
So I'm asking you this. To make it, I'm black and slow, so I mean, you're right, I don't understand. Are you a real woman?
I hope so.
You're not sure?
I don't know what real woman means.
And why not?
Well, what, I'm asking you, what does it mean?
Why is it you don't know what a real woman is?
Because what does it mean? I'm asking you for a definition.
So you don't know if you're a real woman or not?
I know that I'm a woman. I don't know what a real woman is. What's a real woman?
Get ready.
So when you see yourself in the mirror,
I'm like, that's a woman.
how do you know that's a woman?
Because I think I'm a woman.
What?
Because I have the body of a woman and I think I'm a woman.
And do you see a real woman in the mirror?
I think so. I see a woman.
Do you see
What's a real woman?
Do you see?
What's a real woman?
Do you see a real woman in the mirror?
3,
What's a real woman?
2,
No, I'm asking you. When you're
No, I'm
looking
asking you
at
to define it.
all you need to do
When
is
you're
capture the
looking at
missionary
you
essence.
in the
I see a
mirror,
woman. I don't know what a real woman is.
you don't?
What is? I'm asking you to define it. What do you define a real
Do
woman
you know
as?
what a fake woman is?
What would a fake woman be?
Do you know what a fake woman is?
Does that mean you have fake nails?
What do
if
you
you have
mean?
fake lashes,
What do you mean you don't know what a real woman is?
how do you define that?
I don't even know. I'm trying to understand you.
If I don't know what a I know what a woman is.
Do you have a degree?
Yeah?
You went to college?
Yeah, I don't have a doctor's degree though.
But when did you stop remembering what a real woman was?
What is it? Can you please? In order for me to answer your question, it would be great to have a definition of what's the difference between a woman and a real woman. How do you define those differences? I'm asking you a question.
By the eye of Agamotto!
I'm trying to learn about you don't know, do most women don't know what a real woman is?
I think if you went up to someone on the street and were like, you know what a real woman is, they'd be like, you mean a woman? And you're like, no, a real woman. They'd be like, what do you mean a real woman?
That's what the average millennial woman would say.
Yeah, I think that they'd be like, I know what a woman is, but what's a real woman?
Really?
What's that mean?
So when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're not understanding that you're seeing a real woman.
I look at the mirror and I say, I'm a woman. Do I look at the mirror and say, I'm what Jesse defines as a real woman? No, I don't know what that is. That's why I'm asking you for a definition.
You saw a man who pretended to be a woman, right? And then you see yourself as a woman. Which one would you think is real? The man that pretended to be a woman, or the woman that is a woman?
I mean, looking at how they look, I probably think the woman that is a woman. But if the man wants to be a woman, if he's choosing it, that's his choice.
Right.
I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to let him do
with you on that.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at a man who pretends to be a woman, and you're looking at yourself a woman, you would think which is real.
I would think I would be the real one.
And why?
Because visibly, maybe he's not good at doing his nails yet.
Leave them to Khonshu! Amazing. So let me ask, I noticed that millennial women are jealous of men today. Why is that?
I don't think millennial women are jealous of men today.
Is they not jealous why they want to be like men or be equal to men?
I don't think that they want to be like men. They want to have the same amount of choices.
Meaning what?
They want to be able to work in the workplace. They want to be able to think about their bodies. They want to not be judged for how they look. There are a lot of things that men have that women don't, and I think women want, again, going back to the equality, they want the same thing. That doesn't mean that they want to be a man. They want the same choices as men.
Well, they want to be able to go to work. They want to be able to plow mules.
I don't think anyone wants to pick cotton. I think you drink cotton before it's pick cotton.
By the eye of Agamotto!
They want the same choices as men. Opportunities. They want the same opportunities.
But why would that make? Why are they jealous of men? They want to be equal to men. Why are they jealous? Why are they comparing themselves to a man? Why can't they just be a woman, go to work, whatever, without comparing themselves to a man?
I think that they want to be able to go to work and not have like worry about, oh, do my nails look good? Oh, you know, is there discrimination happening? They want to be able to go to work and be like, I just want to do my job.
So if they don't want to discriminate, why do they discriminate against men?
How do they discriminate against men?
By comparing themselves to men, using men, things like that.
I think that there's a lot less false accusation happening than like non-reported rape.
So even that is made up. Women are not being raped by men.
Your power against the world!
They did a study recently of college women, and so many of them were lying and saying that they were raped when they're really not being raped. Why is it so easy for women to lie that whenever they want to hurt a man, they can easily lie? They say they've been raped, they've been beat, they've been this way. Why is that so easy for them?
I don't think that's true, and it's really sad that men would rather focus, like, I think rape is the issue. I would hope that men are anti-rape. Are you anti-rape? Do you think that men should be able to rape women?
Are not raping women, women are lying about it.
No man right now is raping women. Zero rape is occurring.
Somewhere.
There's usually that more women are raping men than men are raping. Interesting. I don't think that's true.
Why don't you think that's true?
Because there's like a ton of studies and things like that.
No. There's more proof now that women are... Oh, let me ask this because of time. I noticed that women love to take the men's children away from them. They go to court, go to divorce situation, and they lie, say, oh, he beat me, he raped me. They make up lies so that they can take the man's children away from him. Why do women have so much hatred in their heart that they are willing to destroy the children to get back at the man?
I don't think that's true in all cases.
I said most cases.
I think the court, if you think that the court is making the wrong choice, then the problem is the court.
No, I'm asking you, why are these women so hatred toward men, that they're willing to destroy the children of the men to make the men hurt? Why is that?
I don't think that's happening en masse. It might happen here and there, but
No,
I
it
don't
happens
think.
every day, all the time.
I don't think that's true.
But it is. I'm telling you, it is.
Well,
You'll need a
But let me
top-notch
ask,
team
are
to
you a
win this one.
feminist?
Yeah.
And what does it mean to be a feminist?
For me, being a feminist means
Hear my command.
believing in equality between men and women. That goes back to what we've been talking about, equality, equal.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I tell men, I recommend to men that they should date for 7 years before they, and then get married and then have sex. That way, because women are so cunning at hiding who they really are, and when the man marries her, all hell comes out of her. Right? Am I wrong?
Horrible. Have you had some bad marriages? It sounds like some bad things have happened to you.
Am I wrong in suggesting that the men
30
wait
seconds before
7
you
years
attack.
so they can
Get
see
ready.
the real woman, and then they would know if they should marry her or not? Because women are really, because they're so cunning, they can hide their true self. Am I wrong for suggesting 7 years?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's like a very bizarre way of looking at marriage, that like magically after 7 years, a
The
woman
battle starts
suddenly
in
can't
5,
hide that she's a
4,
horrible person.
3, 2,
I've never heard of like
So
7
would you
as like.
suggest
All you
longer?
need to do is capture the mission
I would
area.
suggest
Got
if
it?
you think that women are trying to hide who they are and manipulate you, like it's going to be really hard to have a healthy marriage because you already assume the worst of the person that you're trying to court. And if you think the person that you're trying to have a relationship with is a terrible person, it's going to be really hard to build a good, loving marriage between the two people.
I noticed that millennial women love to fight men. They attack them physically, and then the men don't attack back. Should a man, if the man is defending himself from this woman, should he attack her back like when she attacked him physically?
I have not heard that millennial women attack more than men. I've never heard that. I think self-defense is an important thing, but if someone attacks you, usually a lot of like abuse cases, they do something small and then it escalates. The moment one person attacks the other person, relationship over. Neither person should attack each other. That's horrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when a woman does attack a man physically, should he defend himself by attacking her?
I don't think he should attack her, but he should defend her.
But should he smack her? When she smacks him, should he smack her back?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone
Why
should
not?
smack. I don't think anyone should smack
I understand that, but what I'm asking is, but it does happen a lot. When women
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
I don't think either person should be smacked.
I know
I'm
that's
against
not the
both.
question. I am
I'm against both.
But when women do that to men, should men smack them back?
He should defend himself and get out of that situation.
By smacking her back.
I don't know if smacking her back is the best way to defend himself.
If a woman knows that the man gonna smack her back, is she less likely to smack him or more likely?
Probably less likely, but I don't think having everyone scared that someone else is going to smack them is the best way to handle this kind of problem. Probably like therapy, or like working on yourself, or like going to anger management to be like, why am I smacking people? Isn't that normal for people to smack other people? No one should be smacking each other. Do you think it's normal for people to smack each other?
No, I'm telling you, it's not normal. People shouldn't fight one another.
Yeah, 100%. I'm aligned on that.
But these women are out of control now that they're doing a lot to men because men have been told not to smack them back. What I'm telling you is,
none of my friends smack men.
smacking these women back,
Yeah,
are the women less likely or more likely to smack them?
none of my millennial friends are smacking men. And if my friend was smacking a man, I'd be like, why are you smacking him? Or if a man was smacking my friend, I'd be like, for both of you, relationship over. Done.
But should he smack them back if he can smack them first?
No, he should defend himself.
But smack it back if they
That sounds like an attack. That sounds offensive versus
Is the
teasing.
woman attacking him?
Well, she shouldn't be. That's what he should defend himself. He should defend himself and remove himself.
watching the fallen states. We need your continued support. Donate to my nonprofit here. Subscribe and like the videos here. And tell everybody and their mama about the show.
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
Point to the worst of this. I see them use that as an example of why it's bad. Why they bad. These lips talk out of both sides of their mouth. Aren't you just basically admitting that you're a Hollywood prostitute at that point? Well, gee, who could have predicted this? Who could have predicted that women who are in positions of power may act overly emotional? Just based on, well, even some hormones in their body. Yes or no? Yes or no?
The moon! I lift up my comment. The latest episode of Call Her Daddy features a lengthy testosterone. It's hard like don't need a man in it, Mr. Ron. Criticize.
I like when you just like look at them and feel like how fucking great it is to live exactly how I want to live, to experience motherhood exactly how I wanted to experience it. And I know the next thing they say is, oh, well, that's not fair to your kids. And I tell you something, that will be their story to tell. I can't tell you. I can only tell you that this is the best way that I know how to be a mother to them. And maybe they'll grow up and tell their story, and I will respect that. Happy to help.
Well, she also wanted audiences to know how liberating it is for her children not to have a father.
I love that I don't have to run every fucking thing by a guy. I love that I'm well, oh my God, I fucking love that I don't have to do any of that stuff. And my children, you know, we joke. I think you can tell, like, this is how I raise my kids. Like, right? We don't make shit.
Don't worry, while Solly was discussing husband and father in her life, she hasn't given up on
Probably so young when I just recently fucked a 26-year-old, and it was really fucking amazing. Yes, and I've never done that. And I was like, come with us and
feel the wrath of the goddess!
And walking on this goddamn planet. He's walking different today, knowing.
Oh, you for sure is not. Thank you.
The episode's been viewed by nearly 1 million people so far. Reactions been divided for those who celebrate Charlize as, quote, a powerful badass, epitome of a strong woman fighting against the patriarchy, and others who are equally striking language in all episodes. For example, of modern feminist media denigrating the role of men at every given opportunity.
You have no idea.
For a lively debate, well, joining me for this battle is host of the Crucible podcast, Andrew Wilson. Imagine with visibly shuddering. Jedediah Violet, who's the host of the commentator and Mag newsletter. Taylor Lorenz, well, welcome to all of you. And Jedediah, welcome to your set. You're making your 76th debut. Thank you very much. All astonishing people come back to more. Thank God they do. And thank God Andrew Wilson does. Andrew, your thoughts on Charlie Strong? Doesn't need a man. She likes banging 26-year-olds and feels like it. You don't need fathers in life. You just need a strong, badass woman.
Well, you know, it's really funny. The reason nobody cares, really, very much when a 40-year-old attractive woman has sex with some random young man is because it's not impressive. It's impressive when men can bang young women because most men can't bang young women, but most older women can bang young women. So it's just not impressive. Of course, it's easy to send women into a street because DiCaprio decides that he wants to change up. You know, at 25 years old, any of the broads he has around, but this is not an impressive accomplishment. All a woman needs to do to get laid is go somewhere where there's men and offer it up. It's not the case for men. So it's an unimpressive accomplishment on its face. As for the rest of what she's saying, this is just normal threat, right? Her kids are the ones who are going to get punished. They're always there to get punished. We can look at the data for outcomes on children who are raised in
This is real fire
power! It's not, by the way, rates of abuse have demonstrated skyrocket. Terrible idea.
All right, Taylor Lorenz, just a factual reality. That women are with a man mark and children predominantly separated or expressed to the father.
Children are better off in life when they have a loving household, and not all of those households have fathers. I mean, there are lesbian parents, there are different types of arrangements. I think it's important for kids to have different figures in their life who they can look up to, and I think it's really important to expose kids to different types of figures. But that doesn't have to be, like a man, a cisgender man that's standing around all the time. There's plenty of terrible fathers out there too. So yeah, I think it's great that the child is born with some of the and hopefully, she'll expose the child to lots of different types.
Yeah, but can you acknowledge that you have now been studying this phenomenon of single motherhood for years and years and years? Can you just acknowledge that that is happening?
So I think what you're
Your powers are mine!
I am ready to put on a show!
Yes or no? Candy, I want to acknowledge with a yes or no. Yes or no, it's true that outcomes for children.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Tend to be worse than those who are mother and father in the house. Yes or no? Dan, give me your truth.
So I'd love to respond if you stop talking about this. Anyway, most single mothers are not the police. They're on with millions and millions and millions of dollars. So when you look at studies like that, a lot of it has to do with the economic opportunities that a lot of single mothers have. Women make less than men as a whole. They're subject to more sexism and discrimination. So it can often be more challenging for them to raise a child alone.
So the answer is yes?
No, the answer is Charlie
It
Theron.
sounds like you just said that the answer is yes.